Alright everyone, welcome back. Now in today's episode, we'll be taking a look at a previous episode from Dave Ramsey, and specifically from the Ramsey Show highlights, and it's titled, Are Dividend Investments a Good Idea?
Talk to me, wanna know why you believe that you're not my type.
Now before we get into the video, I just want to state that from previous videos of Dave Ramsey, he generally has sensible investment advice, but we'll be taking apart what has been said in this specific episode regarding dividend-based investing. And so let's take a look at the actual question, and then we'll listen into Dave Ramsey's response.
He says, I'm 28 years old, and I'm on baby step 3. I'm looking ahead to baby step 4, where my fiance and I will invest 15% of our income into retirement. What are your thoughts on dividend investing? I was thinking after the house is paid off, the only thing better than no payments is having passive income from our investments covering our living expenses. I want to achieve this before the age of 60 when we can start withdrawing from our retirement. Is this a good way to allocate our 15%? And if so, how does receiving a dividend work with a Roth IRA? Is it still taxed?
So as a summary, this is an individual from the US. They're looking at allocating 15% of their salary. They're looking into a long-term approach, given that they reference retirement. The individual is 28 years old at the moment, but looking into an approach where they can withdraw some of the funds by the time that they're 60. And the Roth IRA is for US individuals only. It's an account that you access after retirement, and it has the tax advantage where any future withdrawals after the age of 60 or so are tax-free. For UK-based viewers out there, if you have a standard ISA account, you're not limited to a certain age before you withdraw, although there are private pensions out there or government-based schemes which attach an age restriction before you access those funds. But for UK individuals that are dealing with dividends, you can access your account at any time and you can put in £20,000 of funds which has effectively been tax deducted at that point. And then any gains or dividend reinvestment applied to the account is not taxed.
Well, a dividend-paying investment would be typically what's called a blue chip company, a large company, okay, like a General Motors, okay? They're not usually very exciting in their price changes, up or down, but they make a lot of money.
I do agree that a dividend-based company is generally larger, given that they are paying out their profits in the form of dividends. Now, in terms of price movements, these days they can move up and down a lot more compared to, say, 2 years ago. But the points raised, I do agree with.
If that's in a Roth IRA, the dividends stay inside the Roth IRA until you're 59 and a half. It's tax-free like anything else is. But and what you would do is flip the dividends and they reinvest back into more stock is what happens inside of that. You cannot pull anything out of a Roth IRA before 59 and a half without getting penalized and taxed.
And just to expand on the point for UK-based individuals, the mechanics of a Roth IRA is different to that of a standard ISA account. And so the statement of not being able to pull anything out of a Roth IRA without being penalized is incorrect. And so how a Roth IRA works is that any funds that you put in, you can withdraw those funds without a penalty, but any dividends received are effectively trapped in the Roth IRA, and all you can really do is buy new stock with the dividends that have been received.
If you want to invest, I would just do 15% of your income into the 4 types of mutual funds we talk about: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. If that gets too big and you're getting close to 50 years old and you don't have any money to support you between 55 and 60 or 55 and 59 and a half, then you might just start with something like some index funds, and that's called bridge investing at that point.
So the advice Dave Ramsey has given is to ignore dividend-based investment and just focus on growth until you reach close to the retirement age. Certain types of index funds might actually provide you with a dividend, and so bridge investment is this transition period from growth to dividend-based investment. And the argument of growth versus dividend, which one outperforms the other, is somewhat debatable, because if you are able to focus on sensible growth-based companies, then that can be a large wealth generator. But equally, if you pick the wrong stocks, and anyone who focuses on growth-based investment at the moment, it's very hard to find a company that is performant. And the counter argument to why people do focus on dividend-based investment is because once you hit a certain threshold, those dividends that you received, which are reinvested, they then become a major factor into exponentially increasing the amount that you've invested. But let's see if this is focused by Dave Ramsey in the rest of the segment.
Just leave it in there. It'll be reinvested. It'll still help your money grow. But I wouldn't worry about this as a passive income strategy.
Yeah, you've been reading too many websites.
Passive income is great when you're in retirement and you get the passive income from that investment.
From that Roth IRA, and it's a tax-free income. You don't need passive income.
And so this is one of the most surprising statements here, is where Dave gives a bold statement stating that you don't need to have passive income. It's just a very bizarre statement, because if you're an individual that isn't investing and you want to look into ways where you can actually obtain truly passive income, then you may think something like creating a YouTube channel is some form of passive income, but actually it's a very active process. You have to create new videos. The videos need to have a sensible number of view counts so that you get paid in terms of how many people click on your video. But there's still an active process of turning out new content. Out of any forms out there that allows you to receive extra income, none of those are truly passive. But when you look at dividend-based investment, that is the only process that is truly passive. Someone who maybe day trades or swing trades, they're making a certain amount of profit, hopefully, but there's still an active process where you're having to look at the graphs and make money there. Now, perhaps if you had a system which is automating those buys and sells, then that can be considered another form of passive income. But the point I'm making here is that dividend-based investment is a clear form of passive income. You can buy into these companies that pay out dividends, and then you will receive money every month or 3 months whenever the payout date is set. And so an individual that wants to receive money passively, then dividend-based investment is the first place that you'll want to go to. There's always space for the argument of growth versus dividend-based investment, but the advice is dangerous when you try and move people away from dividend-based investment.
I mean,
you don't need to get fancy.
It's won't make you a billionaire.
So dividend-based investment isn't something that's fancy. It's actually pretty simplistic. Now, of course, any kind of dividend-based company, they've generally gone through the growth phase already. But what we're looking at here is stability. And I agree, you should be focusing on growth-based companies as well. But the standard advice that people normally give is invest into the S&P 500 to capture some of the growth-based companies as well. But a lot of the S&P 500 has companies that pay out dividends as well. And so to blindly ignore any form of dividend-based investment is really poor advice. Of course, for certain scenarios, there may be a benefit to having growth-based investment. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Dave Ramsey's opinion on dividend-based investment? While I'm against his advice in this video here, I do also believe in purchasing growth-based companies as well. But at times you have to be a little bit speculative if you want the growth margins to be a large amount, whereas dividend-based investment is a very stable form of investing, which definitely has a place in anyone's investment journey. So thanks everyone for listening. New videos are posted each week. To all those new subscribers out there, I appreciate you following this journey of investing. So thanks again everyone, and with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.
I wanna put you in my